What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out the latest electric scooter from KuKirin. The one that we have here today is called the G3 Pro. I'm gonna start by saying that this is the fastest electric scooter that I've been on. So on the back here we have a 1200 watt motor, and then on the front we have another 1200 watt motor. The peak power for the front and rear is 1500 watts, so you basically get 3000 watts of power. This scooter is insanely fast. It is that fast that I actually went ahead and bought myself a helmet. And I know I should wear a helmet all the time, but this scooter was exceptionally fast, I'm gonna say. We also have dual suspension, so you have a suspension on the back and another suspension on the front. So even if you're going over uneven terrain, the scooter is pretty comfortable and also pretty steady, so it's not wobbly or anything like that, even at high speeds. Talking about high speeds, so the top speed for this scooter is 65 kilometers an hour, and I've actually been on this scooter riding at 65 kilometers an hour, even though it does feel a bit scary. But yes, this scooter will reach 65 kilometers an hour and probably even more. Since we have all that power, of course we are gonna need a lot of stopping power. So this scooter is equipped with hydraulic disc brakes on the back and on the front. And this is actually the first KuKirin scooter that I got to try that has hydraulic brakes, because all the other ones had mechanical brakes. So the braking power from this is the best that I've had on any scooter up until now. So really good braking power. So on the back and on the front here, of course, we have 10-inch tires. This is kind of standard with most scooters these days, but the tires on this one are a bit wider, and they also look a bit more off-road. So if you want to jump over some curves, if you want to go over uneven terrain, that will do okay as well. With the G3 Pro, we also get a removable battery. So the scooter itself weighs, with the battery, weighs about 40 kilos. So this is a pretty heavy scooter, so you're not going to be able to carry this for extended periods of time. So the battery pack, which is located here, you're basically standing on top of the battery pack, has a padlock here, or a combination lock here. So you can also change that. And you can open this and you can remove the battery pack and you can take it upstairs to charge it. So depending what kind of a charger you are using to charge this, it will charge from 0 to 100 in between 6 to 10 hours, depending on the charger that you are using. So you can use two chargers to charge this at the same time. So it really depends. In the box you only get one charger. So close this, it's super simple, then you change the combination here and you're good to go. If you do decide to charge the battery pack inside the scooter, we have the charging ports right here. So as I said, you can use one charger or two chargers. So on the sides here, we also have some red lights. These side lights can also be used as signals. On the back here, of course, we have another light. So the lights are pretty bright, so you can easily see the scooter mostly at night, but you can even notice the lights during the day. And of course, the rear light here also acts as a brake light. So whenever you're pressing the brake levers, this one will flash. We also have a mud guard over the rear wheel and of course a mud guard over the front wheel. On the front here, just above the wheel, we have the headlight. The headlight is also super bright, so this can be seen really well during the day, and it really lights up the path ahead of you at night. So we have a super bright dual light here. And here you're gonna notice the folding mechanism. Now, the folding mechanism for this scooter is a bit unusual, I'm gonna say. Well, not necessarily unusual, but it's not your regular folding mechanism. So this is how this scooter would fold. So yes, it does become a bit smaller. I mean, it's not as tall, but it's still gonna be a pretty big scooter. And as I said, it is a pretty heavy scooter as well. So to put this back, you just tighten this up and that's about it. I also like the fact that there is no creakiness, no noise, no shakiness, nothing from the folding mechanisms here. So it's like you don't even have a folding mechanism, because with some other scooters that I've tried in the past, this kind of moves, shakes, makes noises. Well, that's not the case with this one. So a very solid folding mechanism. Aside from that front headlight, we also have two additional lights. So we have one little light on the left hand side and another light on the right hand side. So they're all there so you can be seen better on the road. It's definitely nice to have more lights than no lights, so cars can basically see you. The kickstand is located on this side of the scooter. Let me just turn this around so you can actually see it better. So the kickstand is entirely made out of metal. It is a very sturdy kickstand, so the scooter doesn't move. Even if it's windy, it's not gonna fall. So very nice kickstand for this particular unit. All right, and we're gonna move up to the handlebar here. So first of all, this cannot be adjusted in height, so you're not going to be able to move this higher or lower. But the height that it currently has, it's perfect for my size. I think can be a bit shorter, a bit taller, and it's still going to be pretty good. The handlebar is nice and wide here. The grips don't move at all. On the left hand side here we have a couple of buttons. Let me just turn this on. So first of all, we have the switch for the headlight. So you can turn that on or off. We also have signals. I'm not sure if you can actually see it. Now we are signaling with the left lights there. And we also have the horn. So pretty loud horn as well. And then we have the levers for the brakes. As I said, these are hydraulic brakes, so the braking power is exceptionally good. In the center here, we also have the ignition lock. Now, there is also a rubber flap for the ignition lock, but I have to say that I was never able to put this on. It just doesn't fit on that well. So it's nice that we actually have an ignition lock, because this way people aren't going to be able to steal your scooter as easy. So basically when you come in, you put this in, you turn it, and then we have the mode and kind of like the power button here. So you'd hold this button pressed for about 3 seconds, and from the same button you can also change modes. So we have 3 modes available, 1, 2, and 3. The modes don't necessarily limit the power of the scooter, they limit the top speed. So in mode number 3, the top speed, of course, as I said earlier, is 65 kilometers an hour. And here we have another button that is used so you can switch between 1 motor or 2 motors. So if you want to save power, of course, you're gonna just use 1 motor. But if you don't want to save power and you need a lot of power, you're going uphill, you want to go really fast, you would go into the dual mode. So you're using the front and rear motor. All right, and lastly, in the center here, we have the display. Now, the display, it really depends how sunny it is out, how bright it is. So for a day like today, you can see the display, no problem. Of course, you can see it really well at night. But on those days when it's like crazy sunny, it is a bit difficult seeing the display. So the display will show you how much battery you have, the speed, the odometer, the mode that you're in, and of course if you're using 1 motor or 2 motors. Alright, so according to the manufacturer, on a charge you're gonna be able to get between 70 and 80 kilometers, but that will depend a lot how you're riding the scooter. That distance that they gave us, the range they gave us, is definitely the range if you're using only 1 motor. If you're using the front and rear motors, you're not gonna get that. You're gonna get somewhere around 30 kilometers. I mean, it really depends how heavy you are. It depends how cold or how hot it is outside. It depends what kind of hills you are riding on. Around here, we do have a lot of hills. I'm not sure if Laura can pan the camera. But we do have a crazy amount of hills around here. And with a lot of other scooters, well, most other scooters that I've tried in the past, with a lot of them I cannot go up those hills. Well, with this one, there is no problem whatsoever. It can go up any hill. Of course, to do that, I do have to use the dual motors. So I have to use the front and the back. As I said, the ride is also very comfortable. The suspension is super nice. So the front, the rear suspension is really nice. If you do want to do some off-roading, of course you can, but keep in mind that whenever you're using this in the dual motor mode, so you're using the front and the back at the same time, it has an insane amount of power. If you're not riding on asphalt, you'll see those wheels spinning. Even if it's wet outside, it has so much power that the wheels will start spinning. So keep that in mind and probably wear a helmet like myself. Alright, so next I'm gonna grab that camera, I'll mount it on my chest here, and I think I'll take you for a short ride so you can see how this accelerates. We'll go up a hill, we'll do some braking tests, just so you have an idea how this works. But as I said, this is the fastest and the most comfortable scooter that I got to ride up until now. So let me grab that camera and we'll go for a ride. Alright, so let me show you how this works. So first of all, you turn on the key, then you hold this button pressed for about 3 seconds, and then you switch the mode. We're gonna go in mode 3, and we are only using one motor at the beginning of the test. So you start accelerating and the scooter starts moving right away. So we have a variety of hills here. So keep in mind that this is just with one motor. We don't have the second one enabled. I'm gonna enable it in a second. So now we're in the dual motor and you can see how it accelerates. A bit of a braking test, and you've probably heard that it spins the wheels when you accelerate. So we are gonna go up this hill here. Let me just turn around. So it has so much power that it's spinning those wheels constantly. And the hill is pretty steep around here, and we are still accelerating. But I think we'll turn around somewhere around here. But basically, if you have any of these steep hills, you can just change it to like the dual motor mode, and then it will accelerate like crazy. So insane power. You actually have to be careful. It is that powerful. So we'll switch back to the one motor, so single. So you can definitely lock those wheels when you brake. I kind of wish you'd have had like EABS or something like that, because if you're riding at like 50-60 kilometers an hour and you have to suddenly brake, well, locking those wheels is not gonna be that great. The suspension also works really well. As you can see, the road here is not that great, but the ride is still quite comfortable. So we're gonna turn left. We'll switch back to dual motors. So dual motors, and we'll accelerate. And look how fast it picks up speed. We are already doing 50 kilometers an hour. It also has cruise control that I forgot to mention, but you do have to enable that from the scooter settings when you first take it out of the box. So there you have it. This is the KuKirin G3 Pro. As I said, the fastest and the most powerful scooter that I got to try up until now. Also one of the most comfortable scooters that I've been on, and with exceptional braking power. So definitely the best scooter that I got to try up until now. So if you're looking for something super fast with a lot of range, comfortable, good brakes, definitely consider the G3 Pro. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.